Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Groyper Report. Tonight, we have some groundbreaking news to share with you.
Welcome to the Groyper Report. Introducing the most racist men alive. They are shutting it down as we speak. Welcome to the Groyper Report. Sexist. Racist. Phobic this, phobic that. Terrorizing women across the country. Telling them to wear clothes. Saying all women are mid. Minorities fear them. The president has them on speed dial.
Guess what? Your body, my choice.
Brought to you by Frog Aura Maxing. Brought to you by Frog. GigaChat Central, yes, thank you for asking. They all must go. Welcome to the one and only. Defending the last white men on Earth. AtlasThugged and Josh Van Der Nord. This is the Groyper Report.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another edition of the Groyper Report, brought to you by myself, who is a person. I kind of messed that up, didn't I? Anyways, joining me today as well is my co-host, Mr.
Chubby Jared Kushner, reporting for duty. Ivanka let me off the hook tonight so I could do our little podcast.
That was hilarious. If anybody who had missed it, I did start streaming on Kick. And for the weekends, we're going to start doing that more often. But anyways, one of the concepts that was crafted meticulously by all of the engineers that we have in this Kick stream we built this beautiful thumbnail that represents Josh. But really, the punchline is actually that I can't tell if this is Josh or Jared Kushner anymore. I was staring so deeply into a photo of Kushner's eyes that I am now confused who is with me. But anyways, welcome in, everybody. One network not afraid to say Christ is king. What is going on, Josh?
What's up, dude? You know what's funny is I'll tell the audience, we were in the green room a minute ago and I was like, yeah, it's funny, but I don't look like Jared Kushner. And
I'm like,
then we pulled up some photos and I was like, okay, all right.
Bro, it was the first one.
And
Jared Kushner.
It was Smelly Balls who said as much. The betrayer, Judas Iscariot. Change your name right now.
That would be hilarious, bro. I swear on everything I love, if I see a new chatter that literally says Judas Iscariot, I will know who you are. And dude, but truth be told, it's accurate though. And we like Josh. We're hoping that it'll be not
Smelly
Chubby
Balls. Yeah. Smelly Balls, and you laughing way too long at that. I've been let down. I've been betrayed.
It was so good, bro. And I cannot stress enough. It was the first photo I pulled up with Josh in the green room, and it is like, it's Josh. It's like 80. If it's not Josh, it's Josh's brother or his father. Or it's Josh from another alternate reality. It's Josh in some form. And I'm glad you guys got a kick out of that.
I've noticed, like, especially during the streams, like, I'll do that kind of like smile. and I got a picture of him right here. It's like the teeth don't show. I'm like, oh, that's pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. I just got to get the haircut. I got to get Jared Kushner's hair person, because Sharkeisha ain't getting this done.
Yeah, you're like halfway between Clavicular and Ben Shapiro. It's like you're somewhere in between them.
Oh, my hair?
Yeah.
It's curly, and I live in like a place with 100% humidity like 3 months out of the year, so it's difficult to deal with. And not that you have to worry about that.
No, dude. Clean. We're clean over here, dude. I want to let everybody know how freeing it is. Like I thought shaving my head was freeing. Bro, let me tell you, after I shaved my beard, I was tempted to just go to the Hitler stash, but I didn't. But the freedom, like, oh my gosh, dude, I can itch my face and it actually feels like it's being itched. And the worst part about it completely was I remember when I shaved, some of the first comments were like, dude, dang, you really lost some weight. I'm like gaining weight. I didn't lose any weight. And then, like, no joke, 2 weeks later, I stream again. Dude, you need to lay off the Reddit True Tide. It's like, bro, okay, hold on, dude. Like, I just shaved my face. I'm not on peptides. I'm not doing anything. I thought that was funny that people were all saying that.
You should take that as a compliment, though, because it's like the beard was hiding the chisel. That's essentially what they're saying.
Right.
You shave the beard, and then you got the jaw. What do they call it again? Is that mogging?
Yeah, mewing. Yeah, no, I thought that was funny.
These kids.
Well, now when I look back at some of these old videos, so like old photos of me like with the beard, I was like, dude, I do look kind of fat, don't I? Like, I kind of look a little too big. Like, dang, okay, maybe you guys are right. That's funny though.
Well, it's funny. So today when you were streaming on Kick, we were texting earlier, and I was like, I can't find your Kick channel. Will you send me the link? Before I texted you that, I was trying to find you on Kick.
Yeah.
And I did find you, but all I had to go off of was the name and a picture. And the picture was of you, but with the full beard, and it was super zoomed in. And I'm like,
yep.
I'm sure it's him, but I'm not completely sure.
Dude, what's crazy is that photo is from like 2022. It's like what it was my very first profile picture on YouTube, actually. And it was just like with the glowing eyes effect. My hair was super long. I don't know if anybody's seen me with like my long hair when I was in my Owen Schroyer era.
It had the glowing eyes effect.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have a Beardson profile. I do. My what's crazy is if you look at Beardson, Jimbo, and Tyler's like profile pictures all in a row, and Bodie, because I follow this old school RuneScape streamer, it's like 4 identical profile pictures in a row. It's up close, bearded men at angles. And it's like one of us is like this, one's like this, one's straight on, one's like laid back. Like, hey, it works. It's recognizable. You know who it is. I guess we should get into the Groyper report. I don't know. Does that sound like a good idea to you?
Nah, we're cool.
Yeah,
we're chilling, bro. We're chilling.
We're good. Actually, I don't even want to do the Groyper report. Actually,
we've been kind of well, like Nick is, especially since the generational run, he's always been kind of in the news. But the last 2 weeks, he's been like really in the news, like where everyone else is talking about him. So the Groyper reports just kind of write themselves. You know what I mean?
Right. No work needed. Our work here is done, boys. New York Times.
You've seen it, you know it.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I guess we could start with like the fact that there's kind of multiple themes today. There's breaking news happening that's been happening from Beardson's stream, and also some of that being confirmed and deflected and denied from Sneeko, who is also involved in some of these allegations relating around Amy Dangerfield. So that's what I would like to explore today. We have a few things from VIII I discovered today as well that we can take a look at, coming from some of his previous streams. But the general America First kind of had these themes of coming back in on Monday. We had kind of this readdressing of the America First United issue and how that basically turned into ground zero for the Dane Bilzerian versus Nick Fuentes event, which is still ongoing. And now that's all seemingly subsided and kind of walked away, because now the new element inside of the, what would you say, the political ecosystem, now the new news cycle is all centered around Chud the Builder. So you had back end America First United, some more of this kind of left-wing, left-right populism takes turned into then Dan Bilzerian and Nick going at each other, though it's been happening. We also have the Crowder debate, which I think shows, again, kind of where Crowder is at in the immigration debate that took place on that. Now we got a new Nick Son meme. That's like maybe the best thing we got out of that debate. And then Chud the Builder has been, again, the main news. What everybody's been talking about, it's been all over today. I know people have been back and forth all over the situation, screaming, reeing, being anything but reasonable human beings about it. And I guess I would say not to spend too much time on it, although we kind of did decide in the green room we'll cover it, but just maybe keep it simple. When I sent in a voice message earlier today into Discord, because I'd been thinking about what I wanted to say, I ended up I ended up just ending my stream early yesterday just because I could not get into another back and forth over the lack of nuance in the discussion. But when I thought about it, what I put forward into the Discord was it did really feel like to me specifically that because what's happening right now is so explosive, it's so hot off the press, and it probably will continue, I would imagine, for the next couple of days, that it's too explosive to even begin to levy any kind of nuance or disagreement on the minor elements. Because I think what most people are taking it as is if you go, yeah, that's bad that that happened to Chud, but and you add it in there, people take that as you are 100%, you're 100% against Chud, and because we're not in a period for nuance, it's like why even bother? It's just going to start ignorant arguments. And what even purpose does that serve? It kind of we kind of bring back to getting circular again. You could spin out, and we could do this for 2 straight hours if you wanted to. So I just ultimately don't think it's worth the time to even try to levy out the nuance, and it already has been ultimately. So it's out there if you want to listen to it. And I think Richard Spencer did a good job outlining again some of the nuance inside of there as well. And there's a great clip. It's like a less than a minute going out about Richard Spencer talking about this concept of the white man, the Ubermensch, the being one cut above, the Hyperborean, the Aryan. And I think Richard Spencer lays it out cleanly, which is the concept of, white men are defined by overcoming, not leveling themselves down to compete with the underclass. And so, again, I won't spend too much time on it. And I think Richard Spencer's already beyond a lot of people anyways. So we have that conversation anyways, that occurred. And I talked about it on the Kick stream. But to go to what's happening today, which is probably going to be news for a lot of you guys, is VIII is kind of essentially positioned himself as being not anti-white, but took a very strong stance against white individuals inside of his stream. We'll spend some time looking at that, but also the allegations coming from, or I guess you could say they were heard on Beardson's stream, but coming from a former roommate or former lawyer. I don't really know who she is. I guess we'll find out when we read the caption. That Amy Dangerfield's sexcapades are a lot more wide known than what was previously revealed. And inside of there, you also find out that apparently she had some kind of this is the allegation, that she was involved in some kind of threesome with Sneeko and some other girl. I have no idea who she is. And apparently this was all already known by her husband. There's also elements of the fact that Amy Dangerfield's relationship with her husband is actually only for the green card. They are really just kind of like how we view Isabella Moody and Josiah, like they're not even a real couple. Their entire existence is to serve goy slop on a platter for you guys to read and consume. And, so I would view them the same. And I would actually say they're probably a little bit worse in the fact that she's an Australian national using some female to male guy to get some kind of citizenship or some kind of legal status in this country. So the whole thing's kind of broken down to a really, really rough point. And somebody says if you watch how she looks at him, she can barely stand her husband. I wish more people could pick up on these things, because it seems like I'm like one of the few who can just look at a woman and see like some of these subtleties of her behavior and go, oh man, that's rough. Maybe I read into people's behavior too much. So it's kind of where we're at to start. And so I think it would probably be best for us to start with the hot off the press stuff, maybe work our way backward into things that we want to spend time talking about. So let me go ahead and switch this and get it over for you guys, but I'll find it here. I bookmarked a lot of this. I guess we'll start with the Amy Dangerfield stuff just from what I have seen so far. So this is the first one coming from Posted, and it's from Beardson. Is this the right one? No,
I hadn't heard any of this stuff, by the way. I remember when she started doing her show back in like Thanksgiving of last year. I remember she was like, and my lovely producer, whatever his name is, and he was like, who's also my fiance. Like, and I remember thinking back then, I was like,
yeah, right, like, ooh, buddy. That old man meme.
And yeah, like, oh god, and like, dude, watch the replay, dude. When you said Sneeko, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. And also, what's going on with Sneeko's hair, dude?
God.
Like, bro, like, what are we doing here? Shave your head, dog. So, it's pissing me off.
So here's something real quick that I will agree with Zeb on. I hope that this break between Nick and Sneeko is really permanent, because I don't have a problem with Sneeko, but I don't enjoy his stream. Like, you know what I mean? So now it's just like he's kind of a nuisance more than anything. So Let this be the end of it.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the other. I mean, that's something I actually forgot about that happened, although it just kind of happened in passing. But that was one of the things that occurred, which was, and thank you for the super chat, Smelly. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Love you, Smelly.
Right. It was the fact that Nick had defended and then apologized to Sneeko over the little bit of back and forth that they had had. Now the time comes for, Sneeko to back up Nick amidst everything that's all of the attacks coming from Dan and Leonardo and everyone else. It's Sneeko's like, I'm not going to get in the middle of any of that. I don't think I want to get in the middle of that. Now, I will say, I did see either he posted it in a tweet or he shared a screenshot of a message, but Sneeko did say that he reached out. Like he said, I don't want to do it on stream. He said, if you want to talk, he's like, that's fine. He did extend that to Nick. He was like, I just don't want to do content around it. So for what that might be worth, at least Sneeko didn't really blow him off.
Yeah, like I remember they had an interaction and it got leaked back in like 22, 23, something like that. And it was in person, and Nick said that Sneeko was a fair weather friend. And it kind of is. And that's like, when me and Zeb were doing the show every day, and I don't know, things were just like a little bit different. There was always this whiff of like, maybe we'll make it more into the mainstream. But now, like, since I've been so absent from the show due to other things, it's kind of like, it's nice for me, at least. I'm not speaking on your behalf, but for me, at least, I can speak my mind about these things. Like, because, me and Zeb met up with Myron twice.
Yeah.
To me, he's a grift. It might be genuine up to a point, but it's like, but it is that fact. It is like cynically not taking sides no matter what for the sake of the brand. To me, that's the difference between like a Sneeko, a Myron, and a Nick. Nick, to me, is like an actual mover and a shaker rather than just a streamer.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is we really kind of got like no confirmation on what happened between Myron and Nick because they've been distant. I mean, we know that they kind of had a bit of a falling out, but then like it seemed like nothing ever was said about that. Myron's not really engaged Nick. Nick's not engaged Myron. So I'm curious if there is something that happened behind the scenes that we're not privy to. Because Myron has taken he disagreed with Nick on the Chud thing as well too, wholeheartedly. I forget what post I saw from that, but Myron's been vocal on that issue.
Too.
Makes sense he is though, because he does the legal stuff. He does the lawfare stream as well too. So it makes sense. And I mean, not to say you disagree. I do want to see the self if as described by Amiri King and Harrison Smith, what's being reported is the actual factual sequence of events. I do think Chud should get self-defense. He should win on the self-defense merits. But like I said on stream earlier, to what end does that even matter? Because what happens when it occurs the next time, perhaps in a different court system, perhaps, I guess the idea is like, well if he wins, he's just going to go right back out and be doing it again. And I think ultimately that presents a problem of like at some point, some court will rule against him. There will be some kind of, tertiary detail that will remove the benefit of the doubt or will do something along those lines that I think, at a certain point, I think he's kind of playing with fire overall. But to go to what happened, from what was levied today, we're going to take a listen to a clip from Beardson's show, The Beardson Show, on Amy Dangerfield and the allegations brought by her friend, former friend, roommate, dude, who even knows, but this woman, I guess. Let me find the right panel. There we go. Right here. No, forgive me. 1 second. Sorry, guys. I streamed on Kicker today from all the same system, so I got to make sure I adjust things. So give me 1 second. I do believe, and I'm going to turn it to Josh, actually.
Hi, how are you? Now it's a Zeb Boykin level stream, everybody. Let's get your hands in the air like you just don't care. Okay, so Amy Dangerfield. I guess we'll talk about her in a second. I was so ready to take a swig of water, Atlas, but now I can't do it because you're working on all the technical stuff. But
no, here, I'll help you.
What was Josh eating? Ivanka.
Still not working. It's okay.
Oh no.
It's okay.
No.
We got it.
Dude, I'm dying over here.
Gentlemen, we got
Like,
it.
is it a problem
Give me
in
one more.
general?
Give me one more try. I promise I'm better than Zeb. It will work this time. Okay, now presenting the clip.
Oh,
I got it to work.
Oh, no.
We're good.
She left him and then accused him of domestic violence. And the reason she accused him of domestic violence is because in order to get your green card in America, you have to like get married and stay married for a specific. You can't just like get married and get divorced. You have to either stay married, but you don't have to do that stayed married requirement if you're currently like in an abusive relationship. So she lied to the US government saying that he was abusive to try to get a green card here. But it doesn't matter because she didn't properly pay her taxes while she was in America. So she didn't properly pay her taxes, which is going to fuck her over. She's a Forex scammer, which is going to fuck her over. Plus, she has an eviction on her record. So the likelihood, based off these things, as an attorney, I can tell you that the likelihood of her getting a US citizenship is very low. So she's scamming Daniel for basically no reason, and Daniel has no idea. And like I've told him a million times, but he doesn't believe me.
Do you think that
He
she
says
don't,
I'm a liar. What have I lied about, Daniel? Tell me what I lied about. Sorry.
do you think that she's only getting with Daniel in order to try to like get a green card of some kind to get citizenship? Do you think that was part of it?
He had other guys interested in her. So maybe they weren't like going to settle down, and she like knew he was going to settle down because he was waiting for marriage to have sex again, and then he
Yeah.
was like really like weirdly emotional about that. So maybe she like knew for a fact like he wanted to get married soon. And like whereas other guys, you have to like finesse them and date them and like try to convince them to marry you, you know? And that's like way harder.
Yeah. It's kind of what I was thinking. It's like he seems like easy prey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she said that she was into him like when we were friends, and he was telling us that he was not into her. And then she was like she like told him directly one time like, "Hey, I'm like actually really into you." And he was like, "Okay." Then he caved and was like, "Yeah, I'm into you too." But there was like a weird time where she was telling me, "Oh my god, I'm so into him." And I was like, "Daniel, that one? You sure? We're seeing the same thing?"
Oof. So you're saying basically that she basically lied about the domestic violence in the previous
Oh,
marriage in order to
100%. Yeah, the last guy seems like the last guy, according to her ex, is like really like a nice guy. Wouldn't hurt a fly. They went to high school together. Like has
Yeah.
never had a history of hurting anyone ever.
Yeah.
So that's some of the inside coming from the former roommate, and it was in another clip that we got the the sneaker allegations. Forgive me, in the threesome element, and I guess the other girl is like a content creator. I think she goes by the name of Xena or something like that. At least one of the other videos I saw, they did have an actual picture of her face up there. I'm not familiar with who she is, but Josh, thought.
No pics, no proof. Sneeko, release the. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That
I'm
didn't
a
feel
follower of the
very
Lord.
kidding.
I've never seen a naked woman because I'm not married. But
Very true.
dang man. Well, so I want to say this.
Okay.
If I were Daniel, I would kill both of these women. I'm
Dude,
kidding.
come
In
on,
Minecraft.
dude.
In Minecraft. But for real though, I don't know. So I want to get your genuine take on this. I don't trust that woman in that in the video because you have to look at the context. She's on a stream, and she literally has the Stacy voice. She is literally like, and then he like abused her, and then she was like, I'm super into him, and he was like, well, I'm not into you. Like like the whole thing feels like girl gossip. And I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's false. It's just like women lie, and what we mean by that is like they exaggerate these things.
Josh, your hatred for
So-
women blinds you.
I love women enough to tell them the,
Yeah,
the
that's
truth.
funny. I guess I see it a little bit differently because this. I mean, she would have had ample opportunity to levy these accusations and been the star of the party many days prior to today. You know what I mean? The America First United would have been a great time to like levy these out in the aftermath of her like doing this. I guess I take it
Well,
for the
is this
fact that
girl?
what's up?
So is this girl like a streamer?
I'm
Is
assuming
she
she's remaining
popular?
anonymous because all I've seen from it is like former friend, former lawyer, former roommate. It says so. This clip, I'll put up on screen. Is it this one? It says in this clip, Beardson Beardley gets more insane tea from Jewish lawyer and former Amy Dangerfield friend Lauren Delaguna, who claims Amy Dangerfield lied about domestic violence for a green card case and targeted Amy's husband because he wanted marriage fast. So I guess my main point would be like she could have said it yesterday. She could have went out. She could have made a post on X, and maybe she did. Maybe nobody saw it, but I would imagine we would have seen it. Somebody would have found it and quoted it and boosted it. So I guess I take that with a level of she waited to be brought on a stream to give like the full account instead of I guess posting it and starting it. It comes off to me as less of Gossip Girl. I guess maybe it'd be like my take on that.
Well, if we're just breaking down the assumption that Amy Dangerfield did this legal jargon mumbo jumbo, like the thing about lying with her husband, her ex-husband, saying he was abusive.
Yeah.
That is the most fantastic element of the spiel, of the information she puts forth. And I think it's totally possible. I'm just saying, like, her tone and cadence, it rubs me the wrong way. And so, like, for
'Cause it's a
example,
woman speaking.
I believe what?
Because it's just a woman talking. Josh is like,
Yeah.
it angers me.
Well,
Someone
but-
make it
but
stop.
Think about this. Think about this. She supposedly is friends with Amy Dangerfield, and she's coming on Beardson Beardley's show to take a crap all over Amy Dangerfield.
Yeah.
So she's either doing it for clout or they have beef. You know what I mean? And to me, it paints a picture. Now,
Yeah.
I believe Amy Dangerfield is a POS. She's probably a slut.
Well, I mean, women are
and
naturally
she's-
competitive. And she probably sees that her
Exactly.
friends enriching herself off the backs of everything that she knows is a lie. I mean, it probably just bothered her on a personal level. And maybe she's not even doing it for any other reason besides the fact she doesn't want to see her friends succeed. This is how, I mean, this is, you know, the woman behavior element, I think, comes into play. Yeah, you know, I guess I don't know what she would have. I mean, now she's on the map. Now people know who she is. But I think when you're in a position like that, it's like now she's probably going to get responded to by Amy Dangerfield. She's probably got more to deal with now than to gain from ultimately. Maybe some social clout. I don't think anybody's going to be, you know, jumping to go follow this random woman. Oops. But I wanted to find the actual one about the threesome allegations. Let me go.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a few of them bookmarked, but I guess none of the ones of mine. Well, I guess I go to the one that Sneeko responded to. That kind of goes all the way around. Let me go grab it. Sorry, it's like it's breaking today. So all of these are like new posts from a few hours ago. It's
I
this
forgive
one.
you.
Okay. All right. Here's this one. It's a short clip. Yeah, I'm glad you forgive me. Here we go.
Sex with Sneeko, is that true? Is it like what's the deal with
yes,
that?
That's true. So she
Yeah?
fucked Sneeko. So you know that video that's going viral where she's making out with Xena? That was either immediately after or immediately before she had a threesome with Xena and Sneeko. Sneeko and Xena.
Damn. How do you know that? Like, did she tell you that? Or
Because she told me. She told me. And then also it went viral. Like she told me and she's like, don't tell anyone. I was like, girl, I swear. And then the next day it went a little, like some other people were already talking about it on Twitter.
sex with Sneeko, is that true? Is it like
Yeah.
what's the deal with that?
So there's that.
You
That's
weren't
the
kidding
short
about
clip.
the hair, dude.
Yeah, like, dude, bro, he looks like a kid.
He looks like a, well,
And that's not even the worst part.
monkey.
This is the other one I forgot about. Because apparently Amy Dangerfield was sexting people at Kill Tony not too long ago. This is the other one.
And so he's
Yes,
all very
with
like new to
Amy.
this. Yeah. So it's like it
with
does sort of
Amy, who
track.
was simping for Nick at the time.
Yeah.
And there's other people that he became fans of that he didn't know Amy was actively sexting. Like Ari Maddie is a comedian out of Austin who's on the show Kill Tony. Amy's obsessed with the show Kill Tony, so she like is always trying to fuck the comedians on the show or whatever. And she was sexting this guy Ari Maddie, and then the other night, like I saw Daniel watching, and I was like, "Doesn't that?" He was like, "Oh no, I swear, Amy never had a thing with Ari. They're just friends." Okay, bro. Yeah, bro, for sure. I didn't take any pictures for her, for sure, bruh. No, like fucking
Oh.
idiot.
Oh, bro.
So I guess what we know, and Tom Foe put it in here earlier, and I see you, brother. Thank you for being here. That Xena the Witch was always on Fresh and Fit and worked for them. And if you didn't catch it in the clip that we played previously or 2 clips ago, it was the girl who, if I'm sure many people have seen the clip, but Amy Dangerfield making out on camera with another girl. So that's the other girl in that video that she's making out with. I'm sure many of you have seen. So if that clears some stuff up.
Not me.
But that's a lot. That's unfortunate. And I guess whenever I hear this, there's a part of me that I never, like, haha, you make fun of the guy. And I think you should make fun of this guy specifically. He's kind of an exception to the rule. But man, like, you hear some of this and, just like my heart goes out to, to these guys. It's just like, that's brutal. I mean, she's literally making you sit down and watch guys, comedian specials, because for one, she's just more attracted to them. And she's probably the entire time like fantasizing about wanting to be with them or yada, yada, yada. And it's just so brutal because, this is a public scenario we're looking at. But this is the reality for so many other guys who go through life. And sometimes they don't even know it. Some guys are in the position of Daniel, Debrina Cat, whatever you say his name, and they have no idea. They can't see it. Their social IQ is so low. They don't understand all the subtleties of the way their wife talks to them, behaves, goes around other men. And it's just sad. And there was another, IRL streamer on Kick had been posting some clips as well. And dude, it's just brutal. The guy's just like walking. He's just like walking down the street with his shirt off, like, whatever. But it's like the way that these random girls who are walking with their husbands and stuff were coming up and being like, oh my gosh, like, can I like, who are you, dude? Like, can I touch that? And it's like, this is a random dude with his shirt off. And it was multiple times. And I'm not even joking you. Towards the end of it, this like a short clip. I don't know what his name is. I wish I did. But at the end of it, he's like, this is why I hate women, or something to that effect. He's like, look how they behave. And it's like, even the guy who's getting the advantage of the woman behavior, it's like, look how disgusting they are. Look how inferior and degenerate and disgusting these things are. And so, dude, it's like, we're going at Mach 8 speed towards like the reality of every guy is going to have their brain graped open by the fact that this is not a flash in the pan. This isn't like women are just behaving this way because there's something in the air and it's the food. It's like, no, this is woman behavior unrestricted. This is woman behavior in its raw form. There's no like extra thing happening. The Jews aren't making them do this. It's like, this is women, if not garnered or bound by rules or social norms or expectations. And this is, I mean, like, I don't talk about how the Israel and, the Zog not going back in the bottle. I don't know how this ever goes back in the bottle. And this is kind of a very challenging thing to the status quo, because if the expectation is that marriage is one of the underpins that garners a society and allows a society to function, gives sexual access to men, who otherwise in other scenarios would be like, under rule by like a warlord, etc., in a more primal setting. But now that can't even work because every guy now, even inside of those marriages, understands the behavior of his or her own wife. It's like, I don't know how you get back to that. I don't know how you get back to men willingly walking into marriage. Even if you were to solve for family court, I think there's certain things that are just, I mean, maybe we're in uncharted territory. Maybe we're pioneering a new direction. But I think about those things all the time. Like, especially for a young man who's not married right now, like, how do you, what's even the inspiration or want to be a part of or be near a woman with the expectation is that's the way she acts when you're not looking.
Dude, and even on top of all that, it's so bad with all of these things where it's like, even the people that should be upset about this are defending it. Like, did you see that clip? Gavin McInnes was on Piers Morgan either earlier this week or last week, and they were talking about how Islamic immigration is ruining England. And he was on there with a couple like liberal panelists, and one of them was a woman, and he was like, "I'm English, you dumb bitch," and Piers was like, "What did you call her?" And he was like, "You're right, I'm sorry." And he was like, "Why would you call it?" Like he apologized immediately. He was like, "Why would you say that?" He's like, "I was angry, but I'm sorry." And Pierce was like, "What a horrible, disgusting thing to say to a woman."
Yeah. It's
Dude.
like, that's not coming back.
And it's like, dude, this Daniel guy, I mean, people are clowning on him because apparently I heard from one guy today on your stream, actually, that apparently he was actually a clown. And
yeah,
I've heard rumors that he's like a trans person, but I feel like that's a joke. But still, it's like, let's just say he's a normal, average guy.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I haven't heard that until today. So let's just say he's an average guy.
Yeah.
Why? Like the fact that people are saying this, dude, you have to get out of there. Like, let's be honest. These accusations, they happen because they happen. Let's be real.
I mean, just from judging what we saw in the clip there, it sounds like that she probably also was telling Daniel. I would imagine that this woman's probably also tried to have communications with him. And if he's denied it, I mean, she said right there when she was talking about, like, she mentioned the Kill Tony thing and the comedian stuff to him, and he was like, "Oh, no, she doesn't have anything for me." And the guy's completely in denial. You know, and I think what you might be dealing with is you have a guy who basically, if it's true, he wanted to rush into marriage, and perhaps like he thought he had a deal too good to be true. You know, Amy Dangerfield is like this prominent woman, and he's also interested in politics, and
she's hot.
And I disagree, but you know, you have that going, and it's like, yeah, why would you not take that deal? And now, the only other option is you acknowledge reality. You are a part of you are now like the butt end of a joke. It's like, imagine that. Like, imagine how sad that is. It's like Amy Dangerfield's the one that is trying to do the hostile takeover of AF. She's a stupid woman. She should have nothing to do with politics. But the guy who still loses the most at the end of the day is her husband, who had much less to do with the overall involvement. And it's like, doesn't that just like, that's like a knife. It's like an 8-inch dagger in my soul. It's like, dude, how do you know, the guy is there somehow, you know, Amy should be at the bottom of this pile, this trash heap, but you pull her away and it's like, wait, what? There's something even underneath her. And you're like, oh my goodness. You like look deeper into the barrel and it's like this, you know, male to female, like, and it's like this cuck. And it's like, that's just sad.
It's
dude.
literally
it depresses
like,
me.
It's that Sam Hyde bit where he was like, imagine this woman that you perceive in your mind is like ideal. She's beautiful. She's hot. She's whatever. And now I'm in a lab coat standing next to her being like, this person belongs in a cage. She's insane and needs to be taken away like an animal. What do you do then? You know?
But this is so true. Like, you know, and perhaps that's the direction we're going. Dude, you know, what was funny was like, before it used to be like a little bit of a joke. You would bring in like the repeal the 19th. For those of you who are old enough to remember, repealing the 19th was even like, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago was, you know, you'd be like, whoa, like, what, like, whoa, watch what you're saying. You know, and then a few years ago, it was like, everybody was saying it like, kind of like, it's not really a meme anymore. You know, like repeal the 19th, like that is an actual position I hold. I don't think women should be able to vote. And now we're at the full period where it's like, right to vote. I'm like, I don't even know if they should have the right to publicly walk outside alone. Like, I'm getting to the point where like, I think like every father should be completely 100% has to be fully in charge of her until she's married off. Like, independent at 18, dude, I will just arrest you. I see a woman walking on the street alone, arrested. Right to jail until we find out who your father is or husband is. Like, I'm going full Islam with this. It is getting to the point
real
that I'm seriously like, we have got to put the burqas on these women. They have got to get out of the scene. Because otherwise I do fear what long-term damage is on the other side of this. Because
literally, dude, I've been saying it, do not give them phones. Give them walkie-talkies that contact their father, their husband, or the police. That's it.
This is Atlas Muhammad.
That's it. Yeah.
but this,
We'll have one mom that's like a coordinator. They can handle the sleepovers, but they need like a code. You know, it's like you have to put 2 keys in like opposite sides of the room and twist
yeah,
them
it's
at
like
the
a
same
nuclear,
time.
a nuclear
Yeah,
like
the
self-destruct,
football.
yeah, fail-safe. I mean,
Yeah, that's
but
how women are. That's when women are allowed to like communicate without words and without being in person.
well, I mean, but think about how sad it is. Like you have full blown, you have generations of men older than us that are like they think that Iran needs to be bombed because they tell women to wear clothes. Like I just like I don't know what you do about this. Like they're throwing gays off buildings. They're like, how many? Is there a video?
Yeah.
You know, like oh, that's great, dude. That's great. Like where? And they're like, oh, in the Middle East. You're like, damn, dude. I thought you had a good piece of news coming for me. But it's the same thing's
Yeah,
true of like
they
women.
throw theirs off of buildings. We put ours in buildings called schools to be around our kids.
Yeah, yeah. We let them have weapons too. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's automatically full 2A rights the moment a trans has weapons. You know, and I think this is kind of funny. I don't know if you've seen any of these memes of Thomas Massey, but it's like there's one of like this old guy in the WWE and he's like running up to the ring. But the caption was like Thomas Massey when he heard there's a black man who needed a gun. And it's like this old guy like sprinting like down like this aisleway. And he's like he like tries to like dive into the ring. And it is like this is how we kind of view this. It's like it's getting to the point where we do need to have stronger categorical distinctions. I do think that race needs to be foreseen. It needs to be integrated into the law, uh, very specifically so. And I think because of that, you would need to have the category distinctions of a transgender individual. Like everyone has the right to defend themselves. Everyone has the right to own a firearm. And then it's like, you know, addendum A, it's like, unless you are a black felon or previously convicted black felon, it's like addendum B. It's like, unless you are, if you're transgender, like, nope, you can actually never get it back. If you've ever anything, period. Even if you just said it out loud once in a basement, you can never have a gun. You know, going down like the line, like these kind of categorical distinctions. The same way I think that the law should be disequally applied to women and men. I think there need to be laws that are applied across the board to men and the women. Not this like this blank slate, like everyone's under this one big banner and everyone's just kind of like just roughly thrown into this big group. But I don't know how you get that. We're so far removed from that. That's like such a pipe dream at this point. Because again, let me reference you to like, you know, Chuck Mason or any one of these other boomers who are like, you know, you talk about how women need to maybe wear bit more than jeans, and they're like, dude, like, I think I have to kill you now. It's like, whoa, like, dude, bro, whoa, what the hell? You know, it's like you talk about like women need to wear more clothes. Some of these old guys are like, you sound like a turban, you sound like a turban sand monkey. Now we got to kill you. It's like, dude, you need to calm down, bro. Where this white knighting, this extreme white knighting came from, I wish I could give you an answer, but it's kind of sad. I would do everything in my power to crush it and kill it and go back in time and make it never occur in the first place, but I cannot. So here we are. Yeah, Mr. Moss said it correct. The law shouldn't be equal because people groups are not equal. Bingo. Ding. It's like winner. It's like a winner. But it's not to say like, you know, you need to go like, you know, start screaming at people. And it's like, no, it's like, I want the category distinctions because I care about people. I think that you don't want the category distinctions because you don't care about people. And I think that needs to be like where it comes from. Same way where I think Joel Webben, when he levies a lot of his like, you know, repealing the 19th and actually being very distinct about what women should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing, it's coming from a position of like, no, I'm saying this because I love women, because I know what they are, because I don't pretend they are equal, because I don't like do this, you know, when it comes to men and women. And it should be true. I mean, it could go as simple as something like driving. Like, do you think that a driver's test should be administered equally between men and women when we know that the hand-eye coordination and reflexes between them are vastly different? I think that the driving test for women should be significantly harder and much more specific to the fact of what they actually typically get wrong. That the woman hitting a curb is not like a big joke because women are just, you know, buffoons. It's because women specifically have weaker depth perception on average. And then this translate to their reflexes and their hand-eye coordination, all connected, all being in use while driving, and it all results in what you see. Now, it's kind of funny to a point, but, you know, I don't think it's much funny to somebody whose entire life or family was snuffed out on the road because some Asian was given the ability to drive when she shouldn't have. You know, and so these things are the reasons like why I care specifically. And also because I go on the road, and let me tell you, I was recently in Columbus not too long ago, as of yesterday or 2 days ago. Dude, bro, you would have thought I was black. Because if I had a handgun, I'd have been spraying the whole highway down, dude. I'm telling you, I am, it's a joke, but like, bro, I'm telling you, I started going like 120 miles an hour because I was like, get me away from these people, dude. Like, I would get me off of this highway. Like, it got to that point where it was like, everyone hears, I'm the only white man on the road. It's Omega Man, and it's me, but instead of vampires, they're all black. I'm like, just by myself. Get me away, dude. How fast can this car go, dude? And if anybody has driven in Columbus before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a life or death situation.
I was driving, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I was driving on 45, which Charlotte is like a perfectly circular town. 45 is like the whole like circle.
Yeah.
And every car I looked into, it was like a 3-foot Guatemalan guy that could barely see over the steering wheel. It was insane, dude.
It's funny because it's like, I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. I don't even get mad anymore. I just know. I know what I'm going to see when I look over. They're either going to be black, brown, something else that I can't even describe, not even on the color palette, or it's a woman. Because all the white men are driving their Ford 350s and they're ahead of me because we're all in the same lane going 120 miles an hour trying to get away from everyone else. So like I don't really see them because they're either in front of me or they're behind me. It would be more funny if it wasn't so actually life-threatening and unfortunate. But I guess go ahead.
Smelly balls. I drive a Honda Accord, so mind your P's and Q's.
That's worse.
I've had
enough
worse. Garbage from smelly balls for one day. Okay, I'll give you chubby Jared Kushner. Let it sit for a little bit, okay? Let it sit for a little bit. And secondly, AtlasThugged, you sound like all the people clowning on Nick for not driving a stick shift. You know what? My Honda Accord gets me from point A to point B. It's a 2019, by the way, so it looks good. And it doesn't break down.
What did he say? He's like, you want me to be jerking off my car the whole way down the road? I thought that was funny.
Well, that's one of those things. It truly, that is such a LARP. It's like, that's like, okay.
Bro, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. You have a boat, but it doesn't have sails on it? You use a motor? What's wrong with you? It's like,
it's true.
Dude, we're beyond
lesser than.
Exactly.
To be fair, I've driven stick shift before. I learned on stick shift before I went to automatic. And I'm sorry, like at a time I used to like driving stick, but I had a long commute. I'm fully against stick shift. Stick shift is for fun driving. It's for like, if I got in a new vehicle and I'm trying it out. Automatic is like, that's got to be what the daily driver is. Listen, if I have to keep my head on a swivel because I'm surrounded by Guatemalans, it's like, I'm sorry, like I can't spend an extra, even a frame of a second to look at the stick. It's like, nope, we have to go. Well, to be fair, you don't have to look at the stick after a while, especially when you know the feeling of the car. You're just like throwing it around. But yeah, the Accord, I can't. Automatic or stick aside, a Honda Accord is like,
I want to hear it, man.
It is one step above a Subaru. Like, I want you to know that. It goes,
the car stuff is gay. To me, car stuff is just like sports stuff. That's like such a classic boomer
country
thing.
Club Southerner, dude. Like, this is classic country club Southerner. I want you to know, as a Yankee who gets his hands dirty, we treat our cars with respect up here. I don't even consider you a man unless you can fully decompartmentalize and take apart your entire vehicle with nothing but a wrench and a screwdriver and 30 minutes of sunlight. I'm sorry. No, but I do find it funny. Like, I'm halfway.
Maybe that kind of working on engines and stuff, we'll leave that to the Albanians, the Josh Kushners of the world. I'll handle Congress. You can fix my car whenever it busts down every 6 years.
That's funny. Listen, I'm the one who gets to save money, dude. You know, I might piss off the landlords and the apartment complexes.
What do you drive?
Well, I used to drive a 2013 Dodge Dart, and then I sold that 7-8 months ago. I don't own a car right now. because everything I do is remote. My wife owns the RAV4. Mr. Moss has a Subaru though. Now I for 24 hours I can't pretend I don't even know you. Who's Mr. Moss? It's like, dude, I'm sorry, dude. Like I can't be seen next to a Subaru owner. No, I'm just kidding. No, not really though. You know, you need to get a new car, man. Well, I'm gonna start a donate, give Send Go.
We'll crowdfund.
Get Mr. Moss a new car.
So I know this is supposed to be Groyper Report. It's an hour in. We haven't played one Nick clip yet, but I want to gauge the room on this.
You are gay.
No. I'm married to Ivanka. Remember that.
That's right. That's right.
I'm extremely straight. You know, like I've talked about it before on OTO, you know, like I'm trying to get flight lessons, right? I'm trying to learn how to fly a plane.
Yeah.
But flight lessons are extremely expensive. So I have some screenshots from when I was on the dating apps of girls' profiles where they were like taking pictures in front of planes. And the reason I screenshotted them is because I thought, what if I created like a GoFundMe pretending to be them and put it on like T-Series on YouTube, the like Indian YouTube channel? Just be like, hey, help me get to 20K so I can learn to fly. It's me, Sierra from California.
You should. You know what you
Would that
should
be
do?
wrong? Would that be a sin?
Man,
it would be a scam technically, but
that would make you spiritually Indian.
True. Well, okay, but I guess that would make me more spiritually Jewish. I feel
They're
like
kind of similar though. You know what I mean?
Good. Would you rather be Jewish or Indian? It's a good question.
No,
probably Jewish because at least they smell good.
No. False dichotomy. False.
Yeah.
False. I would not. I refuse.
A Jew they make good movies. Let's be real. Indians do not make good movies.
Let's be honest. I think if you were forced to pick, I think everybody's going Jewish.
Yeah, absolutely.
If gun to your head, you're forced to pick, there's no other option allowed. The only other option is to bite down on the cyanide pill. Then the only thing that you have is you have to. And then you would take your 12% or whatever you end up getting, and then you would you'd grow your beard out. You would take a look at Baby Gronk's hairstyle. You would model yourself after it. You would then gamble all of your father's wealth away. And then what you do is then you start up a whole thing where you talk about how you need to start exterminating your own people. And then you name yourself Dan Bilzerian. and there you go. And that's your way out of it. And then no one even knows.
Dude, I was shocked to learn he was 5'9". That blew me away.
It did too. Same. Have you seen some of the photos of him that's come out of like him standing like next to other people?
No.
Like the full one? Brutal. Dude.
I should have guessed though, because it's like he has a professional production team, but he always does the low angle on interviews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The low angle is a bad angle, but he always does it.
Yeah. Instead of the
Starting to make a little bit of sense here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even neutral, you know, where you could say like, why doesn't his head go past the window seal?
Right. Exactly. You'd be like, wait a minute, dude. He'd be sitting at the desk. I can't even do it. Be like sitting at the desk. Like, hey guys. Yeah. This is Dan Bilzerian. You know, she's gonna like jump up. It's like a dog.
He has to like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. He has to like jump up to the mic. Yes. I don't like the Jew. Oh shoot! Destroyed my lighting rig.
Like, can you reposition your mic, man? Like, we're not really getting you. He's like, yeah. Mic just disappears. Just not even on screen.
He's on screen, and then you just see like a giant, or a regular sized cat just like go behind him. You know. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No. You see a regular size like mouse or cat or whatever, and it's just it's like a Starship Destroyer. You're like, what the hell is back there, dude? You're like, it turns out, he like turns around. He's like, all right, I'm out of here. He climbs up on the shoestring. He gets out of the shoe he's recording in.
Yeah. You see Dan Bilzerian. He's like, let me show you around the crib type video. And he's like, let's go outside. He goes outside. It's like Tom and Jerry, where it's like the little archway cut out in the wall, and he's just in a big house, you know?
He like has roommates. He lives under the stairs. It's like, hey, I live here. Look at my mansion. MTV Cribs, dude.
He's walking around on like Jake Shields' shoulder.
Dude, bro, that would have been a thumbnail, dude. Bro, have Jake Shields going like this.
Yeah.
But then Dan's sitting on his forearm. You know, it's the classic Jake Shields thing. But Jake, he's like kicking his feet.
Oh,
he's like, I hate Israelis.
That would have been a great thumbnail. It's Nick with little Jake Shields and little Dan Bilzerian, like an angel and a demon on his shoulders.
Yes. You know? Yes. I think Jake would have to be the angel, but you would have to like make the angel look like it had Down syndrome.
Because I think Jake is like human sized, right? He's like 5'11", 6 feet, something like that.
I think, yeah, he's regular size. I don't know what his height is, but he's not like a dwarf. He's
I
not
was
been
shocked to
trapped in the
learn-
mines of Moria for the last 20 years like Dan Bilzerian.
The Nav height reveal stuff was crazy. I've not met John in person, but like you, me, and Zeb are all exactly the same height.
I know, it's kind of creepy, actually.
We're all like we're all tacked out at 5'11",
Yeah.
and John Ward is like 6'4".
Is he really?
He yes. See,
I would
he doesn't
not
look
get
it
that.
when-
He
on
looks
stream.
tiny.
Right. But if you watch, there was that video where him and or Zeb went to Pennsylvania, and Zeb was kind of doing security, and like John was like doing this in the liberals' faces, and you saw Zeb walk next to him, and I was like, yo, John's a behemoth.
That's
He's
crazy.
a giraffe.
I wouldn't have expected that. I don't think it, dude, I don't know. I guess like all of the visual cues I've gotten is
Right. Well,
he's like short.
He has like his
Yeah, the
angle is
top-down
always
angle.
high. Yeah.
Interesting. Damn, dude. Hey, respect the award, dude.
Respect it.
Gotta swing that weight around. You are right. We haven't done a single Nick clip, which is hilarious.
It's 9 o'clock, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. I guess we should probably do a clip or 2 or 3. And hold on, my stupid thing is going off. Okay, what do we want to? What clip? You direct me.
I was just laughing at the comment. We doing a show?
Yeah, we're doing a show.
What an asshole.
What is this? Is this not? Are you not entertained?
Yeah, for real, dude.
I do have a good one I want to
Chill,
play. I
bro.
don't know if you saw this from Tim Pool.
No, okay, yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah, because I had one from Tim Pool because Tim actually came out and said he agrees with. All right, guys, yeah, that's it. You know what? We've been talking about, what is that? About 50 minutes or so? All right, it's time to look at the super chats. Okay. You know, that'd be classic Nick, dude. Like
That's
an hour-long
funny.
show, 2 hours of super chats.
Yeah, yeah.
But okay, we'll go to this clip here because it kind of surprised me. But Tim Pool made himself known that he agrees with Nick on Tucker being foreign or having some kind of extra curricular involvement, if you will. But here's this. Yeah, 1 hour opening monologue. Okay, show's over. All right, here's this clip. If I can get it to work.
That's about Nick, though. The thing I hate the most about Fuentes is he has so much charisma, man. He has Riz. I'm not gonna lie.
You know,
Can't
no,
deny it.
I'm
He's a
sorry. I
great
like Nick.
speaker. He's probably one of the better podcasters as far as his tone, pacing, attention to detail goes.
He is.
You just
He
have
is-
to hope he like.
He has many
just
bad
gets tired of
opinions,
losing, frankly.
but he
He's
has many.
frustrated,
He has
man,
many
with the-
opinions
with
I
the
don't like.
economy. I get it.
I do not agree with him on largely on issues of race, and but he made a few important points. One, he called out Candace Owens for lying.
That's good.
But he also pointed something else out recently. Tucker Carlson meets with heads of state
Yeah.
in Middle Eastern countries. This is not something a podcaster does. This is something a government actor does. Tucker Carlson is not just some journalist or podcaster. He is of worldly affairs, negotiating and cutting back deals and advising.
Oh, back room, not on his show.
Not on his show.
Because we've had like Dominic Tarzinski on here, Polish.
That's
Prime
fine.
Minister or whatever.
The point he was making is that your run-of-the-mill podcaster is not flying to Qatar or Saudi Arabia and meeting with the premier in private in private meetings discussing strategy. He's not going to the White House to meet with the president. Tucker Carlson is not just some podcaster. Now, again, whatever the implication you want to get from that, that's an astute point about who people are consuming their media from, especially when it says things like, I'm tormented for supporting Trump. And his brother immediately goes, maybe Miriam Adelson's money was for a raise. And he goes, ha, 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 because he always knew what the money was for. So I think Nick makes a lot of really great points. And again, I think the reason so many young men listen to him is he's got a worldview on race, particularly, that I think I would.
So I care less about his disagreement with the the race thing. It's like, yeah, lay it on me, Poole. But I found it interesting that Tim Poole was vocal about the Tucker Carlson thing. Not surprising in that he talked about it, but I was actually kind of surprised that he agreed with it, because the reason being is what you have. I don't know if you guys have been following this or not, but Richard Spencer has been kind of pushing a little bit more on the Tenet Media scandal and how that kind of disappeared from the news cycle. But it did show that there was some level of Russian pushing for pro-America podcasters to carry certain points, or at least the money infusion was there. And I think I'm still kind of not satisfied with the answers that we kind of got from that. And I think the reason why it surprised me was I feel like the argument was, and maybe I'm wrong, any of you Apollonians, if you're in here, correct me, but it seemed to be that he was kind of building the argument from the Tenet Media case into like, there could also be potential that something similar or maybe connected to is happening with Tucker Carlson. And perhaps Carlson is also being paid large amounts, maybe off the record or into some other kind of infusion. And this is why he has the points that he has now. The only reason I find that to be suspect, and I'm kind of curious now, is because it wasn't like Peter Thiel and Tucker Carlson, as described by Nick, have a extremely close relationship. So close that, in the words of Nick, to borrow his phrase, he consults Peter Thiel with every major life decision. And when Tucker Carlson was leaving Fox, Thiel had basically motioned that he was wanting and willing to donate to Tucker Carlson's new venture. But ultimately, he didn't have to, because Rebecca Mercer did. And Mercer stepped in and she donated and bolstered and financed TCN, Tucker Carlson Network. So it is interesting that if Tucker's on the record already, when we know that he was pushed and bolstered by people close to Thiel and the Thiel Network, which is now broadly known as, with JD Vance, the Rockbridge Network, where then also does this foreign element play in? Where's the non-Thiel? What are they working together? Is Tucker Carlson also like on top of the boost he's getting from the Mercer and the Rockbridge crowd? He's also getting boosted by, and we have to face it. The reality is, like, Tucker has taken a very pro-Islam, Iran, Middle Eastern, outside of Israel position. And I think that is curious. And I think Nick was spot on when he mentioned a time ago that Tucker Carlson is like actually engaged in conversations with not just random people from Iran and random people across the Middle East, but like actual government actors. I think it was one of the Saudis. It was either from the Saudis or it was one of the Qataris or was from the one from the UAE. I don't think it was from Iran. But it's like, what is then going on here? And I would like to see some more information of that come out, because if you can get exposed to Tucker Carlson's like running or a part of some other foreign operation, he will probably receive, he'll probably come crashing down, I would imagine, much worse than anything happened to Candace Owens. But that's why I wanted to play that clip of Tim Poole mentioning it, bringing it back into the news cycle.
Well, and it's interesting you bring that up, because it's a dialectic that often gets overlooked in these spaces, which is that the powers that be, the people on top, they're not a monolith. It's not the Illuminati with Satan at the head directing everyone towards one unified goal. Right. I talked about this with John Ward before on a different show. I think it was actually the Chuck Mason debate, which was, or I don't know, but it was about how like we have a boomer problem here in America, but it really is like worldwide. Like they have a boomer problem in Israel. Look at Netanyahu. Netanyahu's not that much younger than Donald Trump. He's been their leader for like 50 years.
Right.
And it's like this post-war consensus in Israel is America is the ultimate superpower. We have managed to get our hooks in it. And so we will just have them do exactly what we need for greater Israel. But I think the younger people And by younger, I mean like Teal, you know, a guy who's like in his 50s as opposed to his 70s or 40s, you know.
Right.
Their calculus is like it is not on par with the truth, but it is more accurate, where it's like America is slowly waning to China. And so it's like, we can get the best outcome for Israel, but it's not going to be by just sucking all the blood out of America. You gotta pace. We gotta start pacing ourselves a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, it makes me think of like when Tucker had done the interview with Piers Morgan, I believe, in like Saudi Arabia. It's just kind of like, or what is the purpose of this? Like, I'm not sure. But it does open up this idea, and you're spot on, which is that there's more than just like, it's not like one major faction. It's like there's multiple factions,
Right.
and who knows? Perhaps they're friendly with each other, you know, to a certain degree, or you know, perhaps that you know they're communicating in much greater detail than what we even understand. But it does kind of open, at least it widens open the gap, which is the concept that it's always Israel. It's like these other countries and other conglomerates are also fighting too. They might not be as powerful or able to swing their weight around as much, but it's clear that they're definitely like trying. And it does raise the kind of the idea, which is, I know he had one of those guys on there. I think he's had two people now, right? Like one guy, he was like in full turban. Then I think it was shortly thereafter, he had like a nun that was on, that was like from the Middle East or something to that effect. So just kind of curious, right? And I think that people need to monitor Tucker Carlson. I do not trust him at all. I have very, very, very bad feeling about Tucker Carlson, but he's got a strong presence, very, very strong presence. And
and it's not even exactly, and it's not even simply okay. So you got Tucker Carlson doing his podcast with the heads of state of Saudi Arabia. It's also Viktor Orban, tons of other guys in South America. South America. He did a interview with Putin,
right?
And this is like, he's just so popular that the president of Russia is willing to cart him out there to do dude.
Yeah.
It's spy games, bro. This is like, no one even comes close in terms of that level of reach. You know what I mean? Like that, the ability to pool Putin.
Right. Like Candace Owens isn't going to be doing an interview with one of these people. And I think even when she did the interview with Nick Fuentes, she invited him to her studio, which as far as I understand is just an extension of her apartment or house or whatever it is. And, but Tucker Carlson's like, you know, yeah, the interview with Putin. I'm surprised. I can't believe I forgot about that, but that was another like major one. And I think he even got the flack then. I think people were even pointing it out then, like, how did this even get coordinated? Like, why would Putin agree to this? And I'm trying to even think of like what the generalities of what it was about. I guess I think the biggest thing was, it was basically allowing Putin to plead his case against Ukraine. I think a lot of people hated that because he spent what was like the first 30 minutes like, no, Tucker, let me explain the history of Russia to you real quick. I thought that was funny. I do remember that meme moment from it.
It's literally like, let's go back. In the beginning, God created Ukraine.
Yeah, right. Let me catch all you younglings up to speed, and it's like,
yeah.
I'm so glad because I remember I watched whatever version. Somebody put out a version that shortened those 30 minutes, and it was replaced with text, and it's like Ukraine robbed from Russia. Ukraine's still part of Russia. Russia wants Ukraine back. The end. There's like something to that effect, and it like zooms to like the actual interview starting, which I thought was funny. But,
dude, I remember. I wish I could remember what it was, but I remember Putin threw an absolutely like savage jab at Tucker. I can't remember what it was, but it was like it was the most like thinly veiled backhand, and then it cuts to Tucker, and he's got that like confused face he does, you know?
Yeah, it was something to the effect of like you didn't know that. Or like you would think you would know that. Something like it was like a quick jab right after something was said.
Yeah. Whereas like, I think an esteemed American journalist would know that, you know, something like that.
Right. And Tucker's like, you know, it's that meme. Like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on? You know, one of the things I guess wanted to also spend time on to change segments was, there's no real like strong clip of it, I guess we could do the breakdown of Nick. Even that's like not too much. But I guess, was there anything from the Crowder debate that you found to be specific you wanted to go over?
That's what I wanted to bring up, because you guys did a debate on that earlier this week. We can pull up one or two clips maybe, but I really appreciated the Crowder interview, because and this is actually something I was talking about with Zeb behind the scenes, where it's like, because Nick, a lot of some of the clarifications that he gives on things come out when people super chat him, and he doesn't always lay it all out every night for people to hear. So there's even things that, like, I'm unsure of what he means at times, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was actually kind of refreshing to see him explain certain things to Crowder, kind of break them down dummy style for everybody else. And in that, a little bit of like kind of what he means seeps through. So like, I thought the clip where he explains why we're voting for Democrats was really good, but I don't think we need to watch that one specifically. I would rather watch the immigration one.
Yeah, I think the immigration one for sure. The immigration one's like long. It's like a 12-minute clip. I don't know if we need to watch the whole thing. It's like a massively long clip.
12 minutes. That's nuts.
Yeah. I was trying to find good ones, but like they were all long, because they did have like a bit of like a small debate inside of that, the broader debate. I guess there was something else I was meaning to say as well too. I do appreciate the super chats came in from Craig Butler. He says it'd be interesting if you have a conversation with Right Wing Coalition on Tucker. He has some interesting thoughts. That's what I had heard. I think the last time I heard from Right Wing Coalition on Foul Ball Productions, he was privy and open to the idea of supporting Tucker Carlson. I'd have to hear more about his positioning on that to be sure. I'm trying to rewind in my head there's something I was going to bring up, and now I feel like an idiot for not remembering it. What was that thing? We have the immigration debate. We're talking about Crowder. I mean, but you were right. I mean, it kind of was like a rehash of a lot of stuff that was talked about on the debate that we did. I guess later that night, if you will, because we even referenced it inside of there. So it's kind of been already like broadly discussed. I'm irritated because I had something I was going to say, and now I literally cannot think of it for the life of me. But I do appreciate the super chat, Greg.
Magic on you.
Yeah, can I have some magic, please? Could someone please bring back the thought that I had?
Well, it only does bad stuff, so I don't know if you want that.
That is true.
I only summon black cubes from Saturn, and I left my ring that controls demonic forces at home.
I'm just like, dude, I'm so perturbed. I like why it was such a thought too. Like I was like, this needs to be said. And now I'm like, now it's just gone, completely gone.
That sucks so much. I know there's times where, like, especially when I'm on Outside the Overton, Zeb will say something and I think of like, yo, I've got a banger right here. I'll let him finish.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, I'm like, okay, it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Well,
where'd it go?
Hopefully it'll come back to me, I guess. I don't think we need to do the immigration one either, because it boiled down to the same thing. If you guys are familiar with the Wilson's argument, you already know what Crowder's argument is, which is there's ridiculous. Like 10-foot of fence here. Like the wall's being built somewhat, I guess, somehow. it's like not good enough. Pointing to the border being closed. A lot of the Pew Research Center data being referenced, which had a definite and clear response bias into it. You had you had all those things going. That's like, we've already heard all this before. Zeb's in here too. Zeb says, I do the same. It's why I don't let Josh talk. Thank you very much for the super chat, brother. Greatly appreciated. I think I'm gonna have to start using that. I'm gonna have to start using that, I believe. It might have been related to Tucker, but now I can't remember.
I've got, I'd say on the Crowder day, Nick Fuentes,
that's what it was.
It's all about 2028. Okay.
Hold on. I remembered it. It was very specific, and it was to your point of you saying that sometimes you don't understand Nick's positions fully. Okay. Shameless plug. I will plug in once again, and it's expensive, so like don't go out of your way to do it unless you can really afford it. But the $100 a month group chat has been like, it is insight. It is like insight. Because not only does he do these like 25-minute like voice messages, he also does like 4-minute ones, 7-minute ones. He's in there all the time. And he's also responding like in like via text as well too to random people throughout the day as well. And so it is, for me, it is given like a massive leg up, because after shows I can also hear another like 30 minutes of what he had in afterthoughts that wasn't also said on the show, that explains things as well too. So I will recommend people to definitely go check that out, because it's even just for like the last couple of weeks I've been in there. And this is a shout out again to Secret95. That's the only reason I even have it. Trust me, I'm not rich enough to pay for it myself. All because a fellow Groyper looked at this poor wigger and said, this guy could use a leg up. But it's been massive. And so a lot of things, and again, I can't, and I'm not going to leak anything until he makes it public either. Because I feel like you owe that respect in general. And I'm like, I'm even paying for it. So like, I feel like it'd be even shittier for me to leak anything like that. But for anybody who wants that, who could use an extra 45 minutes of clarification from Nick on positions, like definitely. Because I'm going to be honest, I was understanding more of his takes from the Telegram chat than if I was even listening to the show. Wholeheartedly, the 25-minute message from him made more sense about some stuff, especially related to Casey specifically, was the one that he was really clearing things up. That like, if I wouldn't have had that, I would probably been in the dark on some things.
I was just going to say, I was like, because when he talked about Casey Putsch, when that was kind of controversial 2 weeks ago, he was hinting at a lot of stuff, but not being explicit. And I remember thinking like, Atlas, hook me up, like,
Yeah, right.
like what's the dirty deets? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get my bag up so I can get in there too. Cause
yeah, well, probably has some feature. Awesome. Like I bet if you try to screenshot anything in that chat, like automatically like nukes you. I would have to imagine, especially
has
being
he responded? Are you active in there? I'm curious.
I'm somewhat active. People recognize me in there, actually, which I wasn't expecting, but few people recognize me in there. So if I ever do like say a message, I'm not nearly as active as some other people. I do lurk a lot. I react to all the voice messages, hearts, heart emojis, marry me, Nick. I do all the the usual ones. Nick, pays it. No, I'm leaning into it too much. But I just say that for anybody who like struggles, and like, because if I didn't have that, like maybe I'd feel like Zeb. I'd just be like, I'd be in the dark. I'd think the only thing, I just burn it all down, right? Just to pick up your pitchfork and your torch. Nick doesn't make sense, burn it all down. But I didn't, because I had the
I'm
group
not
chat.
sure what he means. Let's make the worst assumption possible. Let's give the no benefits of the doubt.
Yes, correct. Yeah, no benefit of the doubt. Just pay for the group chat. Take $100 of your hard-earned money to go be a part of a group chat. No, that's just for people who like seriously would be interested in that. I do truly mean that completely. Like a lot of insight in there. He said no.
I do.
That's funny.
Something he talked about with the Crowder, I actually think is worth watching, is Nick Fuentes. It's all about 28 and who will be Trump's successor. I think that's the second to last clip in the Crowder.
Yeah, I see it.
Thing. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's do it. All right, no Zeb messages while Nick is talking, please. That's the one rule.
No, a boycott. Yeah,
a boycott. That's actually good. A boycott with a K. That's so fitting for Zeb. No C's, just K's, and about 3 of them.
That's good.
Okay, let's put us up here.
Well, and see, this is where it gets interesting, and this is where we might disagree on some things. So the way that I see it, 2028 is really what it's all about. I really believe that this administration is just cooked. Like, I don't think there's going to be a course correction. I have no faith in this administration. I think Trump is old. The people around him are very bad. And so I think the real question is, and this is a huge question, who will be Trump's successor? Because that person is going to define the direction of the party. And I really believe there should be a very competitive primary for the presidential race in 28. And what they're trying to do is consolidate support around either Vance or Rubio. As I'm sure you know, behind the scenes, there's a very big fight going on between donors and between party personnel. Are they going to get behind Rubio, which he seems to have the backing of the neocons and Mark Levin and AIPAC and Miriam Adelson? Or are they going to get behind Vance, who has the support of Little Tech, Palantir, Tucker, and he's going to clearly run in the more America First lane. At least nominally, he's going to claim that. And I think that we should not have consolidation where it's 80% behind one candidate. I think it should be wide open. I also don't like either Rubio or Vance because I think you get a neocon or a Palantir guy. And so to me, the only way to have an open field is if everyone associated with the administration is sufficiently weakened. So I'm actually rooting for Democrats to degrade and sabotage this administration and the people in it so that they're less politically viable. And maybe that clears the way for a dark horse or an outsider, someone from outside the MAGA, Mar-a-Lago, Trump administration to maybe clinch the nomination in 28. And to me, that's really the big picture.
This comment is so real, dude. So real, bro. The people arguing they don't understand Nick only watched clips. They ain't paying $100 a month. Ain't that real, dude? Ain't that real? And this is kind of the
They're
stuff
not true scholars.
yeah. But it's this is the kind of stuff that I wish we would have gotten more into the debate with Zeb and John. Which is like, this is the purpose of voting Democrat. This is like the expectation, if successful, if works, what will it open up? What will it do to the primaries, the depressing of the GOP, especially because, again, suppressing the GOP being weakened in the social, like what people see in social media, the social clout is an entirely different weakening than like them not having money. Those are two entirely different concepts. But the idea of being weakening their brand, weakening their clout, weakening their currency with the people, if you will, and you weaken that, you do open up the ability. It makes it easier for someone to go, well, I guess there are some things I don't like about Vance. Let me learn more about this Hitler guy. What's this Adolf Hitler got on his his platform? That's kind of like the push there, and the idea to kind of try to emulate or bring enough energy, inflict upon the situation to get a 2015 primary where there's 30 people up there and it's kind of wide open, that kind of mindset. And it also is curious too, because JD Vance is most definitely, between the two candidates, JD Vance immediately plays better, period, over Rubio. It's that Rubio, though, represents and has the donors backing. I think when you look at just any of the polling or any data prior to like this election, if you were to ask the average person, who is the successor to Trump, you think anybody's saying Rubio a year ago? No, it's Vance. Like you go back a year ago, you say, who's Trump's successor? It's like, it's clear the heir apparent would be JD Vance. JD Vance just have walked in. And the only reason it seems like the war is occurring is because of this tightening down the hatch between this relationship with Vance and who brought Vance on in the first place. Probably Vance's unwillingness to accept new handlers or walk into who is boosting and fluffing up the Rubio and Trump crowd with Miriam Adelson and Singer. So it is that's kind of a tough play there because Rubio may ultimately get the donor support and have the money and have the ads running, and perhaps you'll see Rubio attack JD Vance in certain ads, but I don't think for anybody, any regular Joe out there, Rubio has any kind of strong brand recognition outside of like the boomers or people who are in Florida. But what are your thoughts?
Well, here's my take on it, which is the boomers, they will devour whatever slop is put in front of them. They'll take Rubio or Vance lying down any day. It doesn't matter. To me, it's really where the young people are at, and that's where the clip we just played, I thought it was in that clip, but it wasn't. And it was the point where he made where Crowder was kind of pressing him on like, well, who do you want to back? And he was saying, well, I have someone in mind, but I don't want to reveal it. But he talked about how look at Donald Trump, for example. You had this milquetoast conservative Republican Party, and that loserdom, that basically crap they've been trying over and over and over again, failing, brought about the conditions that brought forth Donald Trump. Right. And what we're trying to do, that happened basically on accident, where the Republicans were trying to put just one McCain and Romney right after the other, and no one wanted it. And that brought about the conditions.
Who
what
was
Nick
even
is trying
McCain's
to
running
do-
mate? Sarah Palin, right?
Palin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was all right. But he was what we are trying to do is where the Republicans accidentally brought about a Donald Trump, we are trying to intentionally create the conditions to bring forth the next Donald Trump, the improvement, the next stage in the evolution.
Right. Exactly. I kind of think too. I mean, think about how Zohran Mamdani went from literally nobody to somebody in like a short period of time. And what was similar about that? What was Zohran Mamdani's big moment? It was, I'm not going to, he's like, confused and scared, as they get closer with their knives. I wouldn't go to Israel with my first trip as mayor of New York. And they're like, why wouldn't you do that? You hate Jews? It's like, it's just immediately, it's like, holy fuck. But when you look and you pan around the room, he was running in a primary against like 13 other people. And what the funniest part about that still is the guy who answers after him is like, I'd go to Jamaica. He's black. They don't even care. They're like, we're not going to attack the black guy. He's like, I'd go to Jamaica. But it's so wrong. They're like, you wouldn't. Why? Why is
he
that?
Won't
they're
say
getting
Israel.
closer. They're like, why is that? They're loading it 9mm rounds into the magazine. Why is that? You wouldn't go to Israel. It's like, and so but you need those moments though. You need the reason being is because a lot of the stuff's very fickle. When you think about how people think and the average person, it doesn't take much for for the needle to be pushed. And if you have another open primary and you get an open, you get Vance up there and Rubio, and say you do possibly get somebody, Lord knows who it may be. But they're put into a position where, Rubio's not going to say it. Vance isn't going to say it, but you get somebody up there who goes, you know what? I really think that what I would like to do as president is honor the promise that Trump betrayed, which was mass deportations. And they can say, whether you're married to a foreigner or not, doesn't matter to me. As he's staring at JD Vance, people would be like, we'd be chimping out. I mean, we would be chimping out, be like, holy fuck, let's vote for this guy. But you can only get that if you can depress the name brand of these people low enough that people can find it viable to gut in. Because again, what person has the amount of money to just throw, $15 million at a campaign with a 1% chance to win? Just not going to happen. You're not going to get people who are going to willingly support you, especially if they have, it's Vance and Rubio, it's neck and neck, 47%, 43%. No one's even going to attempt. It's a 2-person race already. So the purpose, again, like Josh had stated, is to intentionally get the same setup there. But the only way that was possible was because you have a McCain, and then what follows up McCain is Romney. And it's like, dude, holy F. This is some of the sleaziest, worst, and where did Romney even come out of? Utah? Some weird Mormon slickback greaseball? It's just like, this isn't going to fly, dude. But that resulted in the GOP being so weak that there was no name brand recognition. And think about how the left has been for the last couple of terms. They ran Biden's corpse because who else do they have? And now it's the same thing with Kamala. It's like, who even else is a name? And we're probably going to get right back to the same spot with the left, which is you have AOC, you have Kamala, and Newsom. And that seems to be the three. Always got to bring up Pete Buttigieg in there too. But they're kind of in a similar scenario where it's a lot more wide open for them. Kamala is not a shoo-in, although she did recently in Polymarket overtake AOC's odds to get the primary or the nomination. Which I think is kind of insane.
Really?
I think what Polymarket's reacting to is who are the donors willing to invest in. And if I think, again, regardless, Kamala still has enough track record. And the reason why it's important is because most elections are a referendum on the previous administration. Most people are voting in response to what they just suffered or just went through. I mean, let's be honest, most administrations, you are suffering. So it's like you're voting in response to what you just went through. And so that's why it's already easy. It's already easy. We already have, when it's Vance and Rubio, they already are basically presenting as, do you want 4 more years of what you just had? So it's already kind of easy on the left side. So that's why you have to weaken their brand and open it up to get someone who has a decent chance. Even if it's that Burgum dude, I would literally, as a throwaway vote, I would just vote for Doug Burgum or whatever his name is, Mr. Furrowbrows from North Dakota. Or I think what a lot of people are probably expecting or wondering if it will happen is Massey, if he gets unseated and gets primaried by Edgar Rain, will he turn that into the reason why he's going to run for president? That's a narrative. That's a story. That's something that has an element of success to it. I could see working. Does it mean I endorse everything of Thomas Massey's positions? No. But I think ultimately he would still be better than Rubio or Vance. He gets the primary thing right, which is no more foreign occupation. I don't want Israel. This is like, that's a selling message. And I think if anything, that's the majority of why Zohran Mamdani was voted in. I don't think people watched his subway takes and whatnot, but he spoke to the people. And the average person sees this guy's not shackled to Israel. That's all I needed to see. We're done here, folks. Wrap it up, dude. We're good. Voting him in. And so I'm curious the way it plays out. I don't think that Massey's the candidate that Nick has in mind, though. I don't. But I don't know who he has in mind. I think a lot of people have said Joel Webben. I don't think that it would be correct either. I don't think Joel would be able to run in a race like this.
I assume he has not brought it up in the $100 a month club.
Right.
But my kind of assumption was it's probably no one that is really on our minds just yet.
Right.
It might actually be someone who's so under the surface that he knows this person through his political connections rather than through like the media space.
Yes. And I'm sure it's probably somebody that nobody's probably even thinking of. But perhaps given the correct
it's someone
channel,
we've heard of, but no one we would guess.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. And the thing is like, Massey is weak on immigration. Trust me, I completely understand.
Right.
But when you're comparing Massey to Vance or Rubio, immigration's not even part of the equation. Vance is going to do the mass deportations. Yeah, we're going to watch Vance carry his wife across the border. Not happening. Rubio, with all of his lovely, Cuban and Colombian friends, yeah, he's deporting him. No, not happening. So Thomas Massey is like, this is kind of the concept I think of, like we're voting for things beyond immigration now, because clearly that's no longer on the table. If your choices are Vance, Newsom, Harris, Rubio, immigration's nowhere to be found. It doesn't exist here. Not there. So it's like, to me, it's like, I would ultimately like, it's like not even a part. It's like, what else is like, so like, what's the next thing? Then what's the next big political thing? And I think Massey at least represents getting, he would bring in maybe an answer to the Epstein files. He would maybe bring a conclusive answer to the occupation. Maybe perhaps he would be somebody who'd be willing to enforce strong laws and restrictions against AIPAC, namely putting them and making them register under FARA. You could get things like that. I guess we're kind of looking at what we can get, because we're not in the best position. I mean, let's be honest. Like, we are not in a good position at all. I mean, we're getting creamed, dude. Pause. Josh is getting creamed. I'm not.
Yo.
I'm just messing. But that is kind of the reality of the situation. Like, we're in a losing position. Sneeko. Dude, Sneeko. Yes, dude. Yes, I would vote for Sneeko. As long as he shaves that weird effing Edgar fro off of the top of his head, I would vote for Sneeko. But yeah.
Shane Gillis.
I mean, would you vote for Massey if your other options were Rubio, Vance, or Newsom?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think he's better, but I mean, he's obviously not good, but it is kind of like what you said. It's the immigration thing is it even hurts to like speak the words, but it's like it's a dead issue here. Maybe see, here's the thing. Don't get black pilled. Think forward. Our solution towards the immigration problem has always been to get rid of the immigrants, to stop them from coming in and get them out. Think outside the box a little bit here, guys. Rather than getting rid of all these people, why don't we repeal the 14th? Bring back the S word. See, now, we put them in like little colonies and stuff. They're segregated.
This is one,
and they don't now. It's like the scene from, oh damn, what's that movie? The Bronx Tale, where it's like he locks the doors, like now you can't leave. You know, it's like we're building the wall not
Now
to
you
keep you
can't
out,
leave.
but to keep you in. Get the strawberry picking boys.
That's right. We got to flip the equation, dude. Immigration's dead, so we're gonna take from the Watchmen, Rorschach. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me, dude. Like, that's how we flip the immigration.
Yes.
Yeah, close the border. That's good.
Yeah.
You're not leaving.
We're gonna put all of the Indians in like hamster wheels to power the data centers run by white people. Heck yeah, dude. See, this is the America First movement.
Yeah.
That's how you know we're Groypers here. We're thinking forward. We're not trying to retrace our steps.
Right. So in my forward vision, we're also going to institute the purge. We're going to team up with the progressives. You're so right. Population's out of control. Help me vote on the purge. And I'm and I'm going to go out of my way to be in black neighborhoods during the purge. And this is how we solve it. We can still solve the problem. It just has to be different channels, you know. And this is a joke. YouTube, it's a joke. It's a joke. We're all in Minecraft. It's a Minecraft server. It would never happen. But dude, yeah, we gotta flip it. No immigration? Great, that's awesome. Anyways, so when's the purge? Perfect,
dude.
Done.
I was talking about that with my boss. Actually, he's like, you ever see that movie, The Purge? We should do that. I'm like, bro, if we had like a brownout here a while ago, I was like, bro, if we ever had a blackout here, The Purge is coming, dude. But it's not you going to other people's houses. It's like, why do I all of a sudden see eyes and teeth coming from the darkness?
I mean, I do think about that though. I do think about what, like, because I mean, what would happen if all of a sudden like power outages go out, like your entire state blackout? You hear the alarms go off. You hear like announcers going off. It's like not coming back on. I think you'd probably get like some hours. You probably the first 12 hours, no one's reacting. But like, what happens like when you wake up and it's still all off? And there's no communications, there's no tower cell, like nothing. It's like, I don't really think you would need the purge. I don't know if America, how people would react if a 24-hour blackout across the nation, right? No communications, no nothing. You turn the power back on, they'd be like, wow, America's population fell by like 400,000 people last night. It'd be a scary concept, dude. They would only have to do it. And our industrial controls are super weak. Insanely weak. It's exceptionally weak. I just like, especially when you think about too, like if it were to be like, if someone were to take advantage of a situation, or whether it was like China, you know, anything along those lines. And especially when we're messing with the energy infrastructure of Iran, what's to stop them from one of their guys who's on the soil? We would imagine they got a couple here doing something that would obliterate, you know, some major kind of electrical grid, something to that effect. Sure, you would need a lot. You need like an EMP, like going off like Hollywood style, for it to like shut down communications and it stay down for an extended period of time and people not, you know, getting news from somewhere. But I think the possibility has gone greater than non-zero here in the last few years, especially as America continues to like weaken itself in the overall geopolitical. It's been something I've heavily feared because I don't think people can wrap their heads around it. I don't think they even understand how to engage with it. How does an American born in when America's a superpower on top of the world, you know, they cleared Russia, you know, or the USSR in the Cold War, dominating so much so that we're literally the world terrorist. And then tell that same person that, hey, you're number 3 now. China and Russia have overtaken you, and now they're the number 1 and number 2 trade partners. You know, it's like I don't think people even understand what that would mean, how that would affect things, like how that would move, what consequence downstream from that there would be. But I do think about that often. And again, part of the reason also why I'm very against ushering in, you know, going out of our way to institute some kind of revolution or violence of some like extreme level like that. Because I don't even think America, nobody wins in that situation, in my opinion. I think whichever country was paying attention and claimed America first wins, actually. I don't think there'd be a strong enough federal ability to stop it. But I guess we can go ahead and move on. Was there another clip from Crowder you wanted to watch?
No, not really.
I thought. And then I guess we have
anything. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's like Chud the Builder. That's all basically what Wednesday was all Chud the Builder. I guess we do have I guess there was another portion, which was the fact that the Daily Wire has been neutered, essentially. And so I guess we could play that.
There's the Ben Shapiro clip. It's in Thursday. It's its own thing.
I got it. Okay. Yeah. For those who don't know, the Daily Wire is suffering heavily, bleeding, major losses. It's good. There's blood on the face of Shapiro, and we love to see it.
Guys, after 9 long years, 9 years, we won. We finally won. Think about it. 9 years ago, do you remember what it was like? I was 18 years old. I was in college. I had a show on Right Side Broadcasting Network. I was getting 100 viewers per night. I was lucky if I cracked 1,000 views on an episode. Ben Shapiro was number one. He spoke at CPAC, making $100 million a year. They were creating the intellectual dark web. All this. They had all the talent. Jordan Peterson, Candace Owens, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, Andrew Klavan. They had the big documentaries. What is a Woman? They had the Pendragon Cycle. They had the Razors and the Chocolate Bars. It was the place to be. At the same time, back in 2017, nobody was talking about Israel and nobody could. Nobody was talking about Israel. Nobody was talking about Jews, and nobody wanted to hear about it. They didn't even want to go there. And everybody was unequivocally, unthinkingly, unquestioningly pro-Israel. Fast forward 9 years later. Nick Fuentes and the Groypers are in ascendance. The clips are viral. We're on the generational run. I don't think there's a single Gen Z conservative. I don't know that there's a conservative under the age of 30 that has not been influenced by the Groypers. There's some flavor of Groyper. We're all Groypers now. There are no more. There is an increasingly tiny contingent of anybody that is even remotely sympathetic to Shapiro, Trump for that matter, anything that is going on the institutional right wing. We're all Groypers. At the same time, the biggest podcasts, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Tim Dillon, Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, all of which, at the minimum, are not pro-Israel. They might be in the middle, questioning. Maybe they have one foot in, one foot out, play both sides. Most of them are stridently anti-Israel and explicitly anti-Shapiro, anti-neocon, vocally against the wars. And now Shapiro is finished. They get no views, no subscriber growth. Revenue has fallen off a cliff, mass layoffs, and everybody recognizes where the needle is pointing. It took 9 years, but we finally did it. We made it out of the hood, made it out of the streets. We used to pray for times like this. We used to pray for times like this when we were on Maker Support and Patreon, when I was banned on Twitter, when I was banned from CPAC. And look at how the tables have turned. Amazing.
I want to say shout out to the super chat. Thank you very much. Said shout out my Nika Atlas. Yes, we are all knickers here. Every single one of us is a knicker. Yeah, we're all Groypers now. I'm gonna start screaming that towards Zeb. No, I'm not gonna scream it, but I'm gonna make it a point. Like, Zeb, we're all Groypers now. All the fuzz. That includes you. You know, Zeb will deny it. Zeb will deny it, but we're gonna find out. Zeb's 12% Groyper, dude. We're gonna get the admission. We're gonna find some memoir from when he was talking to. What's that guy's name? Why can't I remember that guy's name? Rodney Berry. We're gonna find a memoir from Rodney Berry that that Zeb admitted. You know, hey.
Oh no.
Hey, no, Rodney, I'd like to agree with you, but I'm 12%. I'm 12% Groyper. Something to that
I feel like if the year is 2062, the Groypers have taken over. America is now the center of the world empire. It's a Christian nationalist country, and Zeb is in his attic like Anne Frank, hiding from it because he's like, this isn't right. They're out to get me. The Diary of Zeb Boykin. And it's like, we know you're in there, dude. We're not hunting you. Yeah, there are wing gnats at the door.
We heard there was wig gnats here a few days ago. You know anything about this? No. No. What makes you say that? And like they hide the Confederate flag behind them. They're like, whoa, what are you talking about, sir? I am a Groyper. We are all Groypers here. Okay. You know, they leave. Dude, it's the SS brown shirts coming by.
That reminds me, by the way, your kick stream today where you had the guy call in. I forget his name again. But you were talking about how you brought up how it might be because Nick clowns on the South and Confederates. That's why Zeb doesn't like him. And that you said he was like Buddy from his Syndrome from Incredibles. Yeah. Dude, I was dying laughing when I heard that. I shit you not. I had the exact same thought one day, like years, or not years, but like a year ago when me and Zeb kind of had our first real argument about Nick. I was like, because I remember I've been watching Nick for years. I remember like him the one super chat where someone was like, "The South will rise again." He's like, "You sound retarded." Like, I'm wondering, did Zeb love Nick, and that was his like Hail Mary super chat, and he got totally clowned on? And Zeb, forgive Nick Fuentes. The kingdom wants you.
I have to find it.
Accept your place in the kingdom.
I have to find it, dude. Syndrome, Incredibles. I gotta find it, dude. I have to put it up on screen, dude.
The picture. He's like staring at the picture like this.
Yes, dude. Yes, I found one. Hold on.
Let's go, dude.
We're zooming in on it, dude. Okay, we're zoomed in. This.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. No.
This was Zeb. This was Zeb after his first super chat was found not funny by Nick.
Hey, it happens, dude. It happens.
Now Zeb has spent his. It's actually just the same person, dude. There's actually this. Zeb is Syndrome.
What?
And he takes this Nick Fuentes. He takes the quarter zip he has hanging up. He yanks it off the wall.
Dude, and think about it. He gets his revenge by inviting him to his own private island where he's gonna kill him. Yo, dude, it's cyclic. Time is a flat circle, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. Dude, this is hilarious. Dude, this is gonna be the meme used against Zeb, I think, for this foreseeable future. Craig says that's a good. Yeah, it was Craig who called in. He has a different name on Kick. I was trying to remember the one that he had on Kick. But yeah, I don't know when I mentioned this. It was like a couple streams ago. I don't think it was on the Kick stream. But I'd like halfway referenced this. It might even been in a voice message or something. But I'm like, yeah, this is Zeb, dude. This is Zeb. At some point, Zeb, the good ending is Zeb goes, "Oh, you're right, I was just messing with you. I've been a Groyper the whole time." And we all start clapping.
Yeah.
Everybody starts cheering. We're like, whew, finally that's over with. The bad ending is that we have to watch Nick and it'll be Nick and Zeb battling it out in the final scenes. And then when Zeb is beaten, all of a sudden the world heals and we're like, wait a minute, where all the black people go? And I was like, wait, Zeb, you were doing that the whole time? And he was like, I was trying to beat Nick. I was trying my hardest. Okay, that's enough. Zeb's probably already clicked off by now. Oh.
We love you, Zeb. There's plenty of room in the American utopia.
Yes.
We want you here. Just puke, stick your fingers down your throat, puke up the black pill, except the red pill. No,
Yes.
except the blue pill. Vote blue. Vote blue.
Yes.
Vote for Lindsey Graham. Vote. No, don't do that.
Zeb, remember who you are. You are a Groyper, Zeb. You always were. I know he's in there somewhere. Zeb, if you can hear me, wake up. Dude, there's so much content we can dump in here, dude.
It's like a Jesse Lee Peterson. He's like, forgive your mother. Like, forgive your mother. Forgive Nick.
It's golden, dude. We're gonna have to make a skit. We gotta do it. We gotta make a skit.
Oh man.
Listen, dude, I would love to do more debates, especially if we could host them on NAV, doing it the same style that we have. I think the NAV DMC, it's clean. I think it looks super clean. I think it operates really well. I think it's a great platform to do to do some more of the debates on there. We got to start getting more pushed through, to be honest with you.
I completely agree. And I was gonna say, like, because the one you had me do with what's his name, Dark Cell.
Yeah.
We ended up not really debating that much, but it was fun. Like I would be down to do some debates. It never happened, but I remember we were teasing me debating Jim Bob on theistic evolution, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just all sorts of stuff would be fun.
Yeah, what even is going on with Made by Jim Bob? I've not seen him much lately. He used to always be in like my YouTube featured. I've like not seen much from him. Probably battling out with another secular atheist, if you will. But no, I feel like we're running down the final 10 minutes. Anything very specific? Is anything the chat wants to see? I guess we'll turn over to chat too. Speak now, forever hold your peace. I will ignore if Zeb comments. No, just kidding. But if there's anything that you guys specifically wanted to see, I guess there's. I mean, we do have Ben Shapiro seething. We also have Asmongold, who agreed with Nick on Chud the Builder. There's a few other ones in there as well too. Atlas, Josh, Tom, and Ray stream. That would be. You think we could get Ray to
Who's
get
that?
laid? Raymond Thoughts and Minds. Somebody I've not with you. I know you want that, like not with you.
No.
No, he's a streamer. He
Well,
recently got
is he
suspended
cute?
off YouTube. Is he cute?
Is he
that what
trying to
you just
get
asked me?
laid? Yeah.
Oh, brother. That would be cool though. I'll float it out there with him. I don't know if he would do like a political debate, but he might do a debate on some other kind of topic, I would imagine. Or panel stream about maybe it's just some general topic, whether it's like Jeremy. We could do one about the quartering. Or something like that. I don't know if anyone's gonna
what's
defend the
something
quartering.
that you and I would disagree on that we could debate on?
I honestly don't know, which is a bit of a problem. But we're because we're Groypers. I'm plugged into the hive mind. You're plugged into the hive mind. I got my Pakistani money. You got yours.
I've got it.
We got the same message. Iran messaged me and said, I have to do my part in battling the Jews. And so this is what they did.
Here's the debate, Atlas. The Honda Accord is superior to the RAV4.
Bro.
If you drive a truck
Dude.
and you don't have anything in the bed, you are a homosexual.
Dude. No one is going to take your side. A Honda Accord versus a Toyota RAV4.
I'm like the guy who's like, this is democracy manifest. I will die on that hill. I do not care. I'm right.
You're going to
wrong.
die on that hill.
Except your car. We'll get in a race. We'll do a race.
You're going to get cooked then too.
Nah, dude. I have a gun. I'll shoot your tires if it gets to that. We'll have a race,
That's
but
funny.
the race lasts till our next oil change. Then we'll see who wins.
There's forms of races, I guess. I guess people are saying Mr. Moss said he wants to do the Asmund clip. We can do the Asmund clip. It would be a solid
okay.
back one. What's his name now? Asmund Goy? Didn't he change it or something like that? I can't. All right. Asmund Gold agreeing with Nick on Chud the Builder. Here we are.
In the wrong.
So I see a lot of people on the timeline defending this behavior saying, yeah, well, we should be able to say the N-word. I don't know. I don't want to be a victim of crime. I don't actually necessarily want to be out in public confronting black people, calling them niggers. Like, I actually don't want to do that. I don't think people should be fired for uttering the word. And I think it's a funny word. I don't think it should be treated like a blasphemy, but let's be honest, it's not a nice thing to say.
That's exactly what I fucking said. There you go. That's exactly what I said yesterday. 100%.
It's actually not
being an asshole. It's going around being an asshole.
A very nice thing to say. And I don't know that we should actually be out there saying, hey, man, we should be able to go up to black people and start blasting a slur that offends them without expecting them to be offended. Was that really ever?
He's intentionally trying to agitate and aggravate people. He's harassing them on purpose, and he's doing it to bait interactions. This is the same thing that I've said about Johnny Somali. It's the same thing I've said about Jack Doherty. It's the same thing I said about Evelyn Ortiz. I think that was her name. It's the same thing I said about Nina Lynn, is that when your content, or Vitali, like, they're all the same to me. And I know that there are some people that are like, you know, white identity people and, you know, like racist people that think that this guy's on your side. He's just doing this. He's doing this for content. Fundamentally, he is. And this isn't helping anybody. It's not improving anything.
Rallying cry? To me, it was more like, stop smoking weed in public, stop driving on the shoulder, talk more quietly, don't be on speakerphone all the time. It's more things like that. So I don't know what creating two obnoxious underclasses of victims, I don't know what that does for anybody. I don't know that
it does not advance Western civilization. It is not in the best interest of Western civilization.
So yeah, it's very sad. And look, two wrongs don't make a right. We do have a problem with that other underclass. Let's not become like them. Let's rise above them. Let's separate from them. Let's focus on our goals. Let's try to take control of the situation. This does not help anybody.
I mean, that's the same shit I was saying. So yeah, I totally agree with him.
I mean, this has kind of been, that's kind of, I guess, maybe the bit of nuance I've always added in there, right? Same way I would say the average person probably doesn't walk up to a kid and start screaming, you know, a bunch of slurs and curse words. Same way a pastor doesn't address his church with some of the, you know, calling everybody slurs and saying, you know, these effing, you know, there's a bit of class. There's a category. There's we understand what it is to speak with grace and to speak politely. And I think I even likened it to the kick stream, you know. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but those videos where they're like, a guy knows his rights, but he's literally like, he's the asshole. You know, it's like, I know my rights. And he's literally recording everybody. And he's like, I know my rights. Do you know your rights? Yeah, section 4289 says that I can record you right now. F off. And the one video I was watching, I was referencing this in the kick stream, but the one video I was watching, the lady was just like, she's like, whoa. She was like, this is my second day. She's like, I don't even know what the rules are. She's like, you're making me really uncomfortable. And he's like, well, these are my rights. And it's just like, where's the humanity in that? Like, the lady just asked you, like, please, like, don't. She's uncomfortable. You know, and like, what even is the purpose of recording the guy? The guy was just trying to record his every step he took in the courthouse to go retrieve some piece of paper. And it was like, he really like needed, there is a certain point where it's like, there's a certain amount of like class, you know, I would apply to certain things. And that would be one of them.
Pick your battles. Pick your battles, and that's just not one that was worth it. You know, I remember Chud the Builder, his like first viral moment, he actually went on with Hayden McDougal, aka Woman Propaganda, and Zeb. I remember they had like a stream one night, and that was when he first kind of went viral. But it was like, it's the same thing. You're not really moving the meter at all, and it's like he's picking fights. Now, do I want him to go to prison for 60 years? No. But you know,
I think Johnny Smalley is probably the most apt comparison, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I take that back. I wouldn't say so, because Johnny Smalley, like in many clear instances, was like putting hands on people, was violating the law.
He's worse.
Was significantly worse. I guess maybe Vitali would be closer. Where Vitali wasn't necessarily always on camera breaking the law, but he was doing things that was like, you're creating a circumstance, you're creating an environment in which things can happen. And that's the point of the content. People wouldn't watch it if you weren't trying to make something high stakes when it previously wasn't, et cetera, et cetera. So we said, what the hell are all those bracelets? They're the ones I got from your mother. Please tell her she can have her back at any point, but she's gotta give it up one more time. That's kind of, I guess that's kind of the end point. what we were going to cover today. I'm going to turn it back to you, Josh. Is there anything else you wanted to make mention of?
No, one point that we didn't really get to, but I thought Nick made was really good is explaining why he was vindicated on Cuba, or sorry, Venezuela, which eventually led to Cuba, and how this hemisphere should belong to us. I completely agree with that.
Yes, that is one thing that's kind of been lost on this. And again, I've been paying attention to it because I am concerned about the geopolitical, but that does go back to this idea and the concept. Well, it's not even an idea or a concept. It is the fact that because of our lack of attention to the Northern Hemisphere, to our hemisphere, China has worked its way into being the top trade partner for many of these Southern American countries, as well as other nations that also would be involved in the hemisphere, although Southern America is the most notable, the most broad, where the majority of the volume is at. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It does spell the United States to be in a position of which, it's clear that we are not the same dominant force. And of course we aren't. Like we've clearly been following, it's been a, what do they call it? A parachuted collapse, if you will. Like we're slowly kind of, or maybe a constructed collapse. And it is a little scary because, perhaps some of these things are too late. It would take time to weasel our way back in. But I think it's an objectively good thing to do. And I think maybe he was more so speaking to everybody who was generally opposed to the Venezuelan action outright. And I think what we have on deck coming up is Cuba. And I think Cuba was ultimately going to be enacted upon before Trump is out of office. I guess it's probably not going to be acted upon right now, seeing how the Iran war is in such a rough spot. So we're probably not going to be lending any more resources, especially when we're already pulling from South Korea, especially when we're already, we're still kind of dealing with what's going on in Ukraine. Although it seems we're slowly walking some stuff back there. I've yet to, which is curious, I think because Zelensky said something about a week or 2 weeks ago in reference to the missiles and something of the effect of we're going to have to renegotiate terms, or we're going to have to revisit this, or he would like to have a conversation about what's been going on, because he's probably in fear of a position of the fact that they will not be able to resupply or replenish the weapon defense systems they're using from the United States. And that may put Ukraine in a weaker position. They lose leverage. And so perhaps they got to act quick while they do have leverage, while they do have, interceptors and Patriot missile systems to enact upon maybe and get a negotiation done with Russia. So a lot more is at stake, obviously, than what's happening in the Middle East. I think this goes to the broader point, which is there's more happening than obviously just the JQ. As much as it is a strong problem, it's a massive problem, there still are other things happening that need attention. And I guess it's kind of a good spot to go ahead and end. Anything else, Josh?
No, I thought it was a great show. Glad to have you back, Atlas. We missed you last week,
Yes, sir.
but I'm excited for the future of the Groyper Report and Nav DMC. I want to do some Nav DMC debates.
Nav DMC. What do I even say on there? Nav DMC.
Where blood sports become something.
I don't know. I recorded it in 5 seconds because Zeb was like, "You need to record this. We have something."
Yeah,
before we did the
I
debate.
remember.
I can't remember what it was though. It's been so long. But yeah. Hey, and the number one important thing that I feel like I've been doing a bad job at lately, the number one most important thing is the fact that Jesus Christ is King, He is Lord, and He is Savior. And above all, you can never black pill because you have Jesus Christ. So by that effect, if I catch you blackpilling, I'm going to slap you across the mouth of the Bible and say, "Read it and weep." No, but the main point does stand. Jesus Christ is King. And I know for many of you who might not be in the best positions at all, you always have Him to rely upon. And you need to also make sure you are spending equal amount of time concerning yourself with politics, also concerning yourself with the Word of God, staying refreshed in the Word of God, understanding the Word of God, and ingratiating yourself in prayer, speaking to Him, maintaining your relationship with Him, all of those things, because that is overall and most importantly, by far, the most important thing you can do. And I also go back a little bit to thinking about when Nick was asked in his super chat, what do you know, to what end do you see this even being effectual or meaning anything? And he said, if I had anything, if everything else was for naught and everything I did was a joke, at least I can hang my hat on the fact that I brought more people to Jesus Christ. And I think ultimately that should be the priority, the number one goal above everything, period. At least that's the way I see it. But we do appreciate everybody who was here. Thank you, everybody. Also, check in tomorrow with me. I should be back on Kick. I'm going to be doing again. It'll be very chill, super chill. It'll be different than anything you've seen on me for YouTube. We're kind of maybe not too different, but definitely I'll be way more chill and relaxed. And we'll probably do some video games, watching some funny stuff. Maybe we will pirate a bunch of movies. I don't know. Maybe we'll do illegal stuff. Maybe I'll IRL stream and ask people if they're chimping out. You'll just have to tune in and see. But everybody have a good rest of your night. Thank you, Josh, for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time on the Group Report.
Chubby Jared Kushner.
Chubby Jared Kushner. How can I forget? Peace out, everybody.
Where do you stand politically? Give us your political ideology.
Okay, I can say anything I want.
Yeah, bro. Say yeah. Where? Yeah.
I don't know, the day-to-day stuff, I'm like, yeah, more bullshit. Another white girl got stabbed to death? Of course she did. What do you expect? For my politics, I just watch America First with Nick Fuentes.
Okay.
I consider myself a Groyper. Sometimes I just wait to hear Nick's take to make sure I have the right take before I make videos, you know? So, yeah, I just go with what Nick says. I just defer all my political opinions to Nick Fuentes at this point. I'm America First. I wish that we had white Christian men running the country. It's unbelievable to me that we have a government that has a policy other than America First. How does that make any sense? We pay taxes, like, use our taxes to benefit the country that we live in.